Now, I think I would like to address to you a couple of words. And looking around, I'm actually very happy. I've never, well, hardly seen as many participants from member institutes and associate members of TEPSA at a PPC. And yeah, that makes me happy on the one hand. But what makes me even more happy, that I have been seeing you doing many things next to the ongoing workshops, next to the Set in Stone program, and that included a series of interviews. I saw Maya live streamed on the current situation on Slovenia. I saw also the Ignacio working or basically making the point very, very strong that Spain is different from Italy in many respects, and they kept on basically making this statement via Twitter, via YouTube, via a series of videos that were broadcasted over the PPC. So what I was enjoying very much is actually that we tried to have a very up-to-date discussion on ongoing developments related to national politics, ongoing elections, outcome of elections, the minute-by-minute check whether we have a government in Slovenia, the minute-to-minute check whether we have any further news coming from Spain or following the very remarkable pictures of a female-dominated government in Spain taking office at this very moment. TEPSA is growing as well, and that is very good news as well. We welcomed 2 new associate members with Paul. I saw you somewhere. Yes, there you are. I'm very happy that you showed an interest, and I'm even more happy that we could give it back, so to say, unanimously, the support and, well, a full-hearted welcome to you and the organization. And I'm very much looking forward to the cooperation, as well as the future cooperation with the Schumann Center of the European University Institute in Florence. TEPSA has been, in the last couple of hours, very active. It has been delivering in the last couple of weeks, in the last couple of months, in the last couple of years. We have started to implement a whole set of new programs directly linked to the European Citizens Initiative. We have national conventions in 9 of our member institutes and associate member institutes ongoing. We have town hall meetings, and Paul just told me a very interesting story the other day that actually based on one of our TEPSA activities, the book on the future of Europe, that actually he had been invited by our Irish colleagues for a book chapter presentation of the Austrian book chapter, and then he actually happened to learn that there will be actually the minister, the Irish minister, coming over here to Austria. So he was just organizing then in Austria in cooperation, because of the TEPSA link, another town hall meeting just here in Vienna. I think a very important and a proof of successful projects. Many things ongoing which I have even no clue about, being the chairman of TEPSA, and that's actually probably that makes me most happy being here in this position. There are much more things actually ongoing next to the things that we kept on trying to keep up with and report here on a regular basis. Now, talking about the European grant, or the Citizens, European for Citizens grant, I think I made, and we made also very clear that there we will continue to work and collaborate with you, hopefully also then successfully in the next year, 2019, come up with ideas, tell us what you want to organize, and we are there to basically co-finance projects, and we will support, and the Brussels TEPSA office will do everything to help you implementing it successfully. And topics are basically pretty much, well, obvious. The one probably of the most obvious one is the upcoming European elections 2019, and you know that these very days, actually yesterday, the Council just decided, and we will have to see whether the European Parliament will follow due, but that actually we will have changes to the electoral laws not entering into force and being conducted then for the 2019 elections, but actually for the 2024 by introducing and recommending another introduction of a threshold of 5% to European elections. So there's constant change, and this is actually probably the challenge. We try to follow and to, on the one hand, analyze and assess these changes, but obviously also advise and maybe also trigger changes at the national and at the European level. And I think the European elections is a very good example where we probably will, and me personally, I will be able to also contribute further in the next year to basically, well, come and visit you at the member institutes, at the associate institutions, reflecting on the European elections, on the upcoming elections, what it maybe mean from a Bulgarian perspective, what it maybe means from an Irish perspective or from a Luxembourgish perspective, because as you know, we have next to the policy workshops here a lot of institutional developments which are quite important. It is also important to know how Brussels works and how Brussels has changed with the Lisbon Treaty changes from an institutional point of view, but more importantly in terms of finding majorities after the 2014 elections. With tighter majorities in the European Parliament, we see that an increase of up to more than 90% of decisions these days in Parliament taken between the two biggest party groups. All this has a major impact on how Brussels works, and that's, I think, also important to feed back into our discussions because it's in the end also the institutional perspectives here that matter a great deal. Now, topics were addressed here, various ones. Migration issue is pretty much almost constantly on the agenda. We had issues surrounding also directly and indirectly to Brexit. We had the monetary union issue, the MFF related issues related to common foreign security and defense policy. We had a Pinder lecture, which I enjoyed very much, by Brandon Donnelly, and I'm very much looking forward to see how we can basically further develop the idea of bringing Pinder and Pinder's idea inside the TEPSA network. We had a program with basically succeeded in drafting and presenting recommendations. I think it was a very nice example with Mr. Schallenberg receiving those, basically how we can, as TEPSA, think internally how we can involve you, the members and associate members, and basically having having them delivered to the executive here in Austria. We listened to Mr. Schallenberg's presentation. I think we all agree that it was a very remarkable, in many sense, speech. It was, however, also reflecting very nicely that the workshops that were organized here during the PPC were very topical and that actually also a very successful involvement of practitioners such as Bert Körner from the Frontex, for example, is clearly the way we should further pursue in the future. So let me basically conclude on a number of thank yous, and now it's your turn to respect and respond accordingly. First of all, I would like to basically thank again the sponsors of the event, the Central European Initiative, die Wissenschaftsforschung Niederösterreich, the Austrian Society for European Politics, die Österreichische Nationalbank, Europa Integration Äußeres, the EU, the European Commission, and obviously POND, and last but not least, the Federal Trust Without your financial support, this would have been a very difficult endeavor. Thank you very much. But most importantly, obviously, in this regard, I mean, money is one thing. The other important thing is the content. And here, I think I don't have to go into any detail. First of all, a very warm applause to Katrin Aul. Thank you very much. Katrin Aul and her team, who you presented. And also with the support of Paul and his team, and also with the support and the ideas surrounding, because what I liked so much this time specifically was also the very, probably very important and very dense and sometimes also, well, yeah, time-consuming interaction, but nevertheless presence of different sources of communication which we had here. And for this, I would kindly inform you that all the videos that had been taken by BildungsTV over the conference will be put online at the Institut für Höhere Studien, but also at the TEPSA website. So this is something that will be organized, and probably they want to say something?
It will also be available on the channels of BildungsTV.
Yes, and it will be also available on the channels of BildungsTV as such. Well, thank you very much for this. Yes, indeed. Now, next to this, we had the Brussels team of TEPSA. So this is also very important, because without your support from the very early beginning, that would have been also a relatively difficult task for Katrin. So I think here also to Katrin and Mariam, both of them confirmed that the cooperation was very smoothly, and I'm very happy that this worked very well this time too. Thank you. And then we, well, get ready and look forward to the upcoming presidencies, the PPCs. Roxanda, basically, where are you? Well, she already left. Well, sorry, she's already preparing. So that's basically, we will coordinate with her the dates and basically communicate this then throughout the next couple of weeks so that we have clarity here. We know that Finland is already full operational and thinking, right, Juha? Yes. Okay, very good.
1 year away.
1 year away, but I also know that Croatia has already started as well, right? Looking into various possibilities, and they will basically help us, because next year will be a very special year, 2019, just as a gentle reminder, and this is how I would like to conclude. It will be a very special year because it will be an anniversary. We will be celebrating the 45th birthday of TEPSA. And this will probably, well, most likely, include a lot of activities which we will organize around the PPCs. Well, we will keep you informed, but I think this is something very much to look forward to. But first things first, next time we see each other, it will be in Bucharest. Until then, I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.